It doesn't punish you the dash ability, but man, he can jump to the back lines technically, and also can engage. It's going to be very
Guys,
nice.
into the Lanadon as Franco hooks us in. It's Gatot Kaca, the Indonesian hero in MPL Indonesia, being used by a Filipino player, Baloyski.
Will it come through? Will it come to fruition? Let's see, game one.
All right, a bit of poetic for Baloyski, but look at that meter under his HP bar. Boom! That's damage, that's sustainability, man, and that can really throw off your calculations, especially if your team relies on burst damage. Sometimes you think that Baloyski's gonna go down, but he might just survive it. You can see he has skill, he has damage with the Nightmare Spawn, but against these beefy members, it's not gonna be enough. Team Liquid have to find a different way right here, unless... And if they don't, really, if they don't start snowballing, the Jawhead will start to lose in risk, you know? I think GEEK Fam can start ignoring it later on. Emblems by Indie Home right here, though. 3 tenacities for GEEK Fam. They know that Pick-Off is the name of the game for the side of Team Liquid. They don't want to give that back at all. And for Team Liquid, that's a festival of blood for both Aaron Shiki as well as Aran. So both trying to go for sustain. Look at Baloyski.
Baloyski now already tanking so much, really quite low. But Aran is there from the flanks. No first blood just yet here. Both teams just feeling each other out.
Exactly, really just gonna go for those jabs, you know, little by little. They didn't really bait out a lot of big abilities. Baloyski's Revitalize was used up, but it's only on a 1-minute cooldown, so still very, very okay. But yeah, Rashi, man, GEEK Fam are really doubling down on that tankiness, huh? Vitality, tenacity, to Revitalize, and it's a Gatot and Hylos, man. If you told me last season that we were gonna see Gatot and Hylos be prio, or actually just be picked up,
hey,
I would laugh at you.
You told me this morning Gatot will be picked up. I'd be like, nah, man, nah.
You want to make that bet, Gani? Definitely not. GEEK Fam, though, with the Gatot Kaca first onto the Turtle, getting ejected too.
Yep, not level 4 though, just yet. Turtle's guard will be popped prematurely. Oh, Turtle penalty zone. Still, Vincent finds the Turtle. Boy, this time will not be able to survive. But first blood still goes to TLID Iran. Isolated. That's a equalizer by GEEK Fam.
They use so many of their resources on Baloyski. And Baloyski loves it, man. That's why we call him the War Crime General. Sometimes he plays the game in odd ways, but it always works out. Masako.
Oh, forced to flicker out right there. Aaron Shiki showing again the laning prowess. But oh, here comes Baloy.
Oh, doesn't really connect. Aaron Shiki. Baloy showing style there. Aaron Shiki still has the Purify, so technically he is fine. He's a level under though.
Look at the talent prediction here by the new application GoPay though. Seems like it's a bit even actually. GEEK Fam for me, Ronnie, and all. Papulong, KB, and Mirko going for Team Liquid, so a nice distribution here among the casters. But back to the game, man. For Baloyski on the Gatot Kaca. Oh, never mind. Oh,
that's an Eternal's Guard. Vincent finding a kill. 2 kills already on the board for his name. That's very, very good foundation built for that early game.
And a great Turtle, too, right? So 1 Turtle, 2 kills on Vincent. That's been consistent here as TLID continue to just react to the plays of GEEK Fam. And that's something that's you don't want to be looking at. That's something you don't expect with a composition with a Jawhead, a Zask, and a Nolan. They should be the ones making the proactive moves, and it does seem as though GEEK Fam, with this Gatot Kaca pick, it just really neutralizes the threat of the Jawhead in the early game, because he can open up these bushes and survive in these, you know, pick-off situations.
The Hylos and also the Gatot Kaca, because the passive, the Steel Bones, gives the Gatot Kaca more physical defense the lower he is on HP. That's the big problem right here. Team Liquid, they have to pick between jumping on a Hylos or a Gatot Kaca, and both are not exactly the right answer. Everyone else are just too far behind unless they can go for a big dive. And here we go, though, Turtle pick.
Yep. Vitalize the backside, but it's going to be the Turtle will be the main agenda. SOD. Oh my goodness, Vincent still claims the Turtle. Weedy will not be able to survive again. GEEK Fam, they win the Turtle fight.
Vincent just walked out of the penalty zone. Slick maneuvers from Mr. Vince. Then you see that retribution come in handy as usual, as clean as ever. GEEK Fam, it seems they're the ones who are charging. They're gonna take tier 1 in the mid lane for free.
Oh, under 5 minutes as well. It's not a good sign for TLID here. Vincent taking on a run. Run needs to back away considering the mana. But it's still going to be Geek Fam here, just snowballing. 2K gold already.
And the more snowball they get, the tankier that front line becomes. And to make things worse for the side of Team Liquid, even the gold lane, the Herod Moskov matchup where we were expecting Aaron Shiki to take over, who was doing great. But with Beloy showing up, with the intervention coming in from the rest of Geek Fam, seems like Masako is actually still equal and even picked up an assist already at this point. So, man, it's gonna be looking really tough for Team Liquid later on in the mid-game when the fights get longer and longer.
See this game fact by our new application, GoPay. This marks the debut of Gatot Kacha in Season 14 after last being used in Season 6 of MPL ID by Keira. It is now known as Fluffy from Aura in their 2-0 loss to Bigatron Alpha. Veldora walking up.
With the flicker now, penalty zone. Eternal Scar though will try to stop a run. In the backside, Beloyski trying to harass Fade and Ron. Will not survive. Veldora quite low and Aaron Shiki secures it. It's gonna be Weedy falling next. Aaron Shiki isolated. Vincent claims the double. 3 members from TLID down and out.
They just cannot deal with the sheer amount of HP being shown in front of them. Veldora and Beloy. You get rid of Veldora, there's a Gatot. You get rid of Gatot, there's a big horse on the way.
To make things worse, we're talking about big bodies covering the vulnerable backliners. The Eternal Guard, for good measure, man. There are 3 massive bodies in the front tanking everything. Fabian, ooh, can he get out?
See 2v1 potential 3, but Fabian still too slick, able to get out. Vincent claims the turtle. So neutral objective, it's perfect for Geek Fam.
It really is, man. You can't get less clean than this for Geek Fam. It really looks like a composition built to slug it out, but TLID have just not been able to compete in terms of damage output. I mean, they have been able to, but not against Veldora, right? Their targeting needs to be fixed here. TLID, the way they can actually deal with Geek Fam would be fully dive over to a boy and Masako. Maybe that would be a way. But the fact that they are down by 4,000 gold, that's already a problem. That's a big hurdle at the start of the game.
And honestly, for them, it makes it more difficult. Oh, Aaron Shiki almost gets first down.
Double force though. Oh my goodness, a boy with the early winner crown? What? Now it's gonna be purple buff contest again.
They'll take
They have the setup.
Beloy?
Beloy taunts 1. My goodness, Iran melted, shredded down, and Geek Fam again claiming the jungles of the cavalries.
Ooh, let's look at the items for a bit. Head of Heaven and Starlium side for Aaron Shiki, but he's really unable to really do much. Whereas Masako already building onto the Demon Hunter's sword. That's the power spike we're waiting on, and the 2 Thunderbelts just for good measure. And we talked about the solutions potentially for Team Liquid. That's exactly where the Winter Crown comes in so early. And to make things worse, honestly, the Julian, the Vexana, and the Moskov, all 3 are quite good at dealing with dive heroes anyways. So this is an amazing draft with no real loophole, but Veldora gets jumped on.
Just the horse though. Horse pathway, Beloyski finds 1. The damage will come through Witty. Clutch with the flicker. Fabian does not deal damage towards Beloy. And TLID, yeah, it's evident that they're lacking in damage.
You don't bring a knife to a gunfight because Gatot Kacha has those guns in his arms, man. Beloyski just smacked Fabian as he tried to go for those slashes. And it just doesn't seem like TLID can respond to this Witty.
Oh, good taunt here as, oh my goodness. That's a big penalty zone, but Witty gets taken down as well. That's Masako. Aaron gonna be mounted. Aaron Shiki finds the shutdown, finds the triple. And let's see here a boy against the 3 members of TLID. Is this the comeback?
Is he gonna do it again? He did it against Bigatron Alpha in the defense. Geek Fam were a bit too greedy. The Eternal Guard not gonna steal it. My lord, Geek Fam clumped up. The combos were all there. TLID, their composition thrives on AoE damage, and Geek Fam took it head on, face first.
Massive swing coefficients. Even the Yeheskiel just zapping everyone, beaming through the whole team, and Aran landing the penalty zone. Everything really worked out so well for Team Liquid, and the Lord, I believe, helped them out with a massive knockup on multiple members of Geek Fam in that fight. That was unfortunate, but now it's back to square one. Geek Fam can still tank it up, can still deal with these waves, but now Team Liquid, they have a chance to try and apply some macro pressure right here. Look at this though, they're clumping up together actually. Not really getting a lot of these objectives as the Lord is pushing on the top side.
Here below is engaging on towards 1-0. They're going to commit this fight. Iran will try to survive, but they fall. Aaron Cheeky this time does not find the comeback. Now he's isolated, and Vincent finds the triple. It's going to be 4 members here still, 5 members still standing for GEEK Fam.
It was a very, very
Questionable.
Oh yeah, this engagement very questionable because for TLID, the way they were able to win that fight was a very specific way. It was very conditional. Everything needs to line up perfectly for them to get all the AoEs, penalty zone, fracture, dominators, ascent, and obviously, Aaron Shiki with the Herod. If you can't get that, if GEEK Fam are able to play it front to back, there is absolutely no chance that TLID get even through the front line. So the fact that they didn't use the Lord, the fact that they try to go for a fight, that has to be a big, big mistake, and now they're gonna pay for it. That comeback meant nothing.
Immediately after that, 3.4k gold lead already for the set of GEEK Fam. Now for Team Liquid, it's even worse. They had that momentum, they had a chance to kind of equalize. Of course, when it comes to items, now they are closer to their own power spikes, but it's the same idea, right? Even if both rosters right here are on the same power curve, the composition-wise, the issues are still the same. And to make things worse, we saw earlier that the damage coming in from Vincent and Aboy, it really is ramping up, man. And even the frontliners of Team Liquid have to be a bit more careful in how they want to approach this. Aran is immobile, and the only really way for them to really get him out of danger is for him to use that penalty zone. But if they use that, that also signals that it's a green light for GEEK Fam to just rush through at them. We saw that even with the Zaman Force for Aaron Shiki to move backwards, the Glorious Pathway just negates the whole thing. With a Demon Hunter Sword completed for Masako, he can go for more fights right here.
Look at the damage there, just by Vincent alone. He's leading in gold, by the way, 2k against his counterpart, counter jungler. That's a lot of damage, that's a lot of farm already built up for Mr. Vincent.
For a team like TLID, who really rely heavily, usually on the early game and mid game to get that snowball going, the fact that they're behind up against a team like GEEK Fam, a team that has the opposite style. Early to mid is usually their weak side, their weak point. TLID haven't been able to expose that because GEEK Fam have 2 beefy boys, and now in the mid to late, it can only get cleaner for GEEK Fam for BBB.
Oof. Man, Aran at this point has the reading armor, but he is looking very, very squishy, man. So many ways to do damage for the side of GEEK Fam. And of course, Aboy, he has the Wishing Lantern, by the way, on the Valentina. Bit of an unusual item to see. Usually the Valentina really wants to get more burst damage, but I guess where he knows that the fights are going to be drawn out like this, the Wishing Lantern might really swing the tides in his favor as well. 4k gold lead is not impossible to come back from. With the Lord in the picture as well, Team Liquid has one more chance. Can they find it?
Look at Beloy. Veldora zoning.
Yep, Veldora looking for Yeheskiel to bait the Dominator's descent early, but they do not fight. Lord, it's gonna be the reset! Oh, flicker penalty zone! That will be the collision. Fabian secures the Lord. Iran gets taken down on Shiki though. 2 overextended. Now Yeheskiel forced to use that Dominator's descent to escape, finds it, and now Weedy looking for an escape route. That's TLID securing the Lord.
Great Lord take by TLID, utilizing Aran to dive in back to force GEEK Fam away from the Lord. But after that, they decided to fight. Aaron Shiki lost his life. And now this actually might be a GEEK Fam angle. Ooh. So look for a play. The Lord will be spawning in the bottom lane. They might be chased away from this Ensemble Force.
Oh, does not connect though. On towards the ejector. The Lord still marching, but GEEK Fam, they're able to poke this Lord to at a 65% HP. So now, TLID, they look the other lanes. Fabian finds the mid. The inner should go down to. Ooh. SOD finds the mark. Oh, the ult. It doesn't connect though. Fabian again. He will farm another clip.
The usurper finding clips. Flav is what Mr. Gani calls him, and he definitely added the Flav in this game. 0-0-5, but with 2 Lords under his belt.
Taking the one turret in the mid lane as well as taking away Geek's attention because they were rotating to try and help out. They were able to clear the Lord on the bottom side as well. Team Liquid, now if they can fight with the Lord, technically the front line discrepancy can be negated for them. They have to wait on the waves though and try and match it together because you can see Geek Fam going for a play.
The damage onto it. Ron Shaky! Vincent will find the kill. Now it's going to be a collapse. Ron goes down. TLID running for the hills before taking on the Lord. What a decision call by Geek Fam.
Aaron Shaky, way too aggressive. Overextending. None of the frontliners were there to cover. And technically that's the problem. Who's the frontliner? Aran is squishy. He can technically be a backliner. Same goes for Jawhead. It's the opposite of Geek Fam, who have all the beefy members in the world. Aaron. Up and
Damage! But that's cover from a boy. It's going to be Weedy. He has skill now, trying to defend. Mid-base turret taken down. Beloy engaging onto his Weedy. Weedy uses the flicker. Aaron now back in the fight alongside Aaron. Two base turrets now taken down.
That was a close one, man. Vincent immediately recognizes the potential, goes for the Winter Crown with his Immortal. Actually, no, hang on a minute. Yeah, I think he sold the Immortal, goes for the Winter Crown right there. I think you have to understand that one of the big damage dealers from the side of Geek Fam is Vincent. He's been sneakily sliding in the midst of these fights and just dealing a lot of damage with the basic attacks. You look at him, full items already in his inventory. Now look at this. Once more, a play to the purple buff to really shut down Pavian. There's nothing that Pavian can do about it. Ooh. Oh, never mind. The Heskil actually snipes it away. On the way to a Holy Crystal as well. If he starts scaling, he does do a lot of DPS, and the Holy Crystal is indeed completed. Is it enough though? With the Lord doing a lot more damage, that's possible. But this time with the mid and bottom side.
Oh my
God. A run!
He's chopped. Penalty zone now. Yehezkiel though will find the flanks with the Dominus Ascent. Aaron Cheeky free hitting as well with a Shaman Force inside. A boy secures the safety, but Vincent claims a double. Now looking for the triple. Masako is in the fight as well. One by one they charge, but one by one they fall as Vincent finds the Maniac.
Geek Fam are the ones charging. The cavalry have been halted in game one. That's a horse against the horse, and that's a base for game one for the Geeks.
Man, Geek Fam with the big brain draft, the big brain execution, no loopholes left open for Team Liquid. With all their flexibility, all their aggression, in the end it means nothing. Maybe the greatest offense is a great defense.
What defense? They were going forward. That's probably what Beloy's gonna say.